Hello and welcome to another technical takedown the hard way. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the suspension. Okay, so guys, whatever car I'm going to take is going to have air suspension. I've said it. Okay, I already told you in the last videos that it's important that we have a good mixture of soft roader and hard off-roader. There needs to be a combination, and the thing is that we are looking for a vehicle that is good on long distances. We're not looking for a vehicle to crawl over rocks. I mean, whilst that would be great, it's very unlikely that we're going to be able to get a vehicle that can do everything. Those don't exist. But we have a purpose, and we need a vehicle that is fit for purpose. The family's coming with me, and if the family's coming with me, I'm going to want them to be as comfortable as possible. I don't even want to have to think about them in that way anyway. So it's important that we are able to have a very comfortable car, and the way we do that is by getting a car with air suspension. And I've heard people talk about, oh no, air suspension, not for overlanding. You can't have air suspension for overlanding, and I just think that's BS. I think that if we take care of the air suspension before we go, and perhaps upgrade the airbags themselves, because I know airbags can get holes in them, and perhaps even bring a spare airbag. I don't see any reason why we cannot do Africa with air suspension. I've seen the suspension that these hard off-roaders use, and God knows how they do it. It must be so not bumpy, but it mustn't be that much of an enjoyable ride when you're doing those long 200-300 mile stints. For me, it doesn't make sense for me to buy a hard off-roader, because I think you get more in terms of where you can take the car, because the cars are a lot more simple, but you get less because you have to pay more to get less. You understand? You don't have all the electronic gizmos. The car is built to be as simple as possible. And when you keep the car simple, well, what happens? When you keep the car simple, you are able to repair it anywhere. You can repair it at the village if need be, which is great. It's really good. But for me, I think I'm going to try and negate the need for fixing the car by getting a brand new car and doing premeditative repairs or even replacements. So for the airbags in the suspension, I'm thinking of upgrading those airbags to something a lot more stronger. I've heard about problems with airbags, people having cars, and they're just driving around them on the streets here, and the airbags get holes in them, and then one problem leads to another. Once you have one airbag with hole in them, you can't use the car at all, because the sensor realizes that you're not driving correctly, and so puts it into a mode where your car cannot do any further damage to any of the other components that airbag that has the hole in would have worked with. So the other airbags turn off as well, even if you just have one. Clearly, one airbag with the problem. So I think upgrading the airbags before we go will put us in a much better situation, but where it is absolutely unlikely that the car will break down. I've seen people with proper old man emu suspension setups, and they've broken down. Everything breaks down. When you push something hard enough, it will break down. This is another reason why we are choosing a combination of hard / off-roader, because we need something which, although somebody has bought it, but they've bought it to perhaps tow the horse, or they've bought it to take their kids to school. They haven't bought it to go overlanding in 50 different countries, to drive tens of thousands of miles in the space of a year. They haven't bought it for that reason. So the cars have not been used badly as much as the other vehicles that are hard off-roaders. Your I was going to say Pathfinder, man. Anyway, so that's one thing I think I'm going to do, one preemptive measure, because we don't want those to go, but we need them. It's a weird one. We need them, but we don't need them. And there are so many sensors on these suspension. It's one thing, we don't want to hit us, if we do have a problem with it. Sensors. What are we going to do about those? That's one thing I'm going to have to look into, to be honest with you, because these sensors, they just get in the way. I don't think they're going to be any good for us. I think one way or another we're going to have to break up the relationship with the sensors on whatever car we get, because we need to make sure once we fix the car will just start and we can go. If the worst happens, that's what I want to do. And I think we can do it. So, why not? So guys, I don't want to finish it there. I want to continue talking about the suspension. So guys, some of you may not understand why I really want an airbag suspension. It's because they are so damn comfortable. And it gives us if I put weight in the back, the air suspension self-levels. So you never get us, the car never looks like it's heavy in any particular place, because the computer realizes that you have too much weight in one place and levels the car. So when you're towing something, it levels up the car and then goes. It's for that reason, and also the fact that if we need a bit more height, we're in a place where we need a bit more road clearance, I can automatically give myself that road clearance, okay, at the touch of a button. Or if I'm cruising down the motorway in Europe, because it's going to be our daily, I can easily turn it off, go as low as possible, and get as much efficiency out of the car. So those are the reasons. It gives us a bit more practicality, and it allows us to forego needing two cars and just have one car that we can use as our daily and as a continent conqueror. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a combination of everything, the best of both worlds, so to speak, which is important for us. We're going to be spending hours and hours and hours in this car. So it needs to be top spec. We need to feel good when we're driving. We need to get to the end of this journey and say, wow, let's do it again. That's what we are looking for. That's what we are looking for. It's important for us to get to the end of this journey and want to do more. And if we want to do more, that means the vehicle has done its job, and provided us with comfortable, safe travel away from the elements. It's important that we get there. We will get there. What else? Suspension. just think, yeah, actually, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not even going to talk anymore. I'm getting so tired. I'm so tired. I'm not that tired. I'm not running away from war at this present moment. So I need to take a reality check. So guys, that's all I've got time for today. I'd like to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.